Lots of people travel to the big station at the other end of the line. Engines from the other railway sometimes take their trains. These engines stay the night and go home the next day. One day, Gordon was talking to one of these. This engine was from the LMS. He looked very smart. "When I was young and green," said Gordon, "I remember going to London. Do you know the place? The station's called King's Cross." "King's Cross?" snorted the engine. "London's Euston. Everyone knows that." "Rubbish," burst out Duck. "London's Paddington. I know. I worked there." They argued until they went to sleep. They argued when they woke up. Duck and Gordon were still arguing when the other engine went away. Silly engines. "Stupid thing. I have no patience." "Stupid yourself. London's Paddington. Paddington. Do you hear?" "Stop arguing," said James. "It was funny at first, but now you're making me tired. Besides, at least you've agreed on one thing." "What's that?" "London's not Euston. Now shut up." "I'm sure it's King's Cross," Gordon said to himself as he thundered down the line. "I'll go and prove it." But that was easier said than done. London lay beyond the big station at the other end of the line. Gordon had to stop at a junction on the other railway, where another engine would take his train. "If I didn't stop," he thought, "I could go to London." One day he steamed right through the station without stopping. Another time, he tried to puff away before they had uncoupled the coaches. He tried all sorts of tricks, but nothing worked. His driver checked him every time. "It's no good," he sighed. "I'll never get there." One day, he brought the train into the junction as usual. This time he waited as his fireman uncoupled the coaches, and he ran onto his siding until it was time to go home. The coaches waited and waited at the platform, but their engine didn't come. A porter then ran across the platform and came to see Gordon's driver. "The inspector's on the platform," he said. "He wants to speak with you." The driver climbed down and walked over to the station. He came back a few minutes later looking excited. "Hello," said the fireman. "What's going on?" "The engine to take the express turned over as it was coming out of the yard. Nothing can come in or out. They want us to take the train to London. I said we could if the Fat Controller agreed. They telephoned and he said we could do it. How's that?" "Fine," said the fireman. "We'll show them what the Fat Controller's engines can do." "Come on," said Gordon. "Let's go." They rolled quickly over the points and were coupled onto the train. It was only a few minutes until the guard blew his whistle, but to Gordon it was ages. Come on," he puffed to the coaches. "We're going to town, we're going to town," sang the coaches, slowly at first, but faster and faster. "We're going to town, we're going to town, we're going to town, we're going to town." Gordon found that London was a long way away. "Never mind. I like a nice long run to stretch my wheels." All the same, he was glad when London came into sight. He wasn't very happy though when he looked up and saw the station sign. What? The Fat Controller came into his office next morning. He looked at the letters on his desk. One had a London postmark. "I wonder how Gordon is getting on," he thought. Just then the station master came in, looking excited. "Sir," he said, "have you seen the news?" "Not yet. Why?" "Just look at this, sir." The Fat Controller took the paper. Why, gracious me, there's Gordon. Headlines too. Famous engine at London station. Police called to control crowds. The Fat Controller read on, absorbed. Gordon returned the next day. The Fat Controller spoke to his driver and fireman. I hear your visit to London went well. It certainly did, sir. We shook hands until our arms ached, and Gordon had so many photographs taken from so many directions at once, he didn't know which way to look. Good, said the Fat Controller. I suspect he enjoyed himself. Didn't you, Gordon? No, sir, I didn't. Well, why ever not? London's all wrong, sir. They've changed it. It isn't King's Cross anymore. It's St. Pancras. And Gordon puffed sadly away. What? That evening at the sheds, Gordon was telling Duck about what he saw. Duck was mortified. I can't believe that they would do such a thing. Changing the name of an important and historical station like that. It's a shame, muttered Gordon. Suddenly, James started to laugh. This isn't funny, James, snapped Gordon.
Oh, yes it is,
cried James through fits of laughter.
You silly engines. London is a very big city, you know.
So what?
So it has more than one station. King's Cross, Euston, even St. Pancras. They're all stations in London.
Gordon and Duck stared. So you knew, snapped Gordon at last. Why didn't you say anything? James recovered and smiled. Funny?